How's it going, lad? Oh, you know, the same old. Albion's been coming around here again, sticking their nose in where it don't belong.
Well, they're asking to get it broken, if you ask me.
You said it. I didn't realise this was called the Bethnal Green Albion Station. They come here, telling us how to do our job and giving their critiques like they own the bloody place.
And it's only going to get worse. Yeah, they're already giving the Wapping police station problems, telling people how to drive their boats. Oh, absolutely ridiculous.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned Bobby on the beat as it's possible to get. When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Cass, many people were surprised. But we weren't. London has been up for sale and privatisation for years. The only difference is that now the private companies have guns. So how did it happen? What does it mean? How can we reverse it? And what's the price of justice? On Buccaneer, we conceal everyone's full names for their own safety. Here's Helen, who investigated policing, civil rights and justice in pre-crisis Britain.
One of the kind of classic hallmarks of a fascist leader is having their own private army or police force. You know, it is in a democracy, the state tends to have a monopoly on violence, and that's not what happens when a state fails. You know, you end up with people running their own private militias, and we've seen this all over the world. You know, every kind of great dictator in history has had basically their own jackbooted set of guys that they can send in to rough up people who annoy them. And that's the danger of a force like Albion. You know, you start taking powers to yourself, and actually who is in charge of telling you no? It's always a worrying sign when you see, say, a president surrounding themselves with ex-military guys, with, you know, 5-star generals or whatever it might be, because that sort of suggests that they want to run the country like you run a war. And in a war, you have to be incredibly hierarchical. You know, you have to be top down. People essentially have to obey orders because that's the only way that you can make that work. That's not how it works normally in a democracy. And that's the problem, really, is you end up in a situation where normal peacetime checks and balances are suspended, and that's really scary.
Is policing ever politically neutral? We spoke to academic Alfie, all names on the down low, of course, about the politics of law and order.
I think it's very important to consider the changes that have happened in public space in London. I mean, the honest answer is there hardly is any shared public communal space anymore. Everything is privatised, owned by corporations and companies, and it's very difficult to feel that the space is our own to use. And essentially, you can be moved on from any area by forces which are employed to police the private area for corporate profit rather than for a community's overall well-being and shared livelihood. So I think what you're looking at overall is a situation where it's now completely impossible to distinguish between a kind of state police or a police which operates in the service of the community and one which operates to protect private interests, which leads us to the situation we've got with something like Albion today. A private police force gives you a very different kind of justice to what you might have in a form of society such as one with a state or government-run police force. And it makes you wonder if, you know, of course it's obvious when it comes to an active police force, if it's enforcing the rules of the privatised state, then it's more likely to act in their interests rather than those of kind of ethics and morality for the greater good. But it also makes you wonder about the entire justice and legal system underpinning such a police force. You know, do the courts and justice systems also share the ethics and morals of the privatised companies who employ them, and then therefore, you know, is a kind of equal and fair ethics or justice completely gone today?
So there we are. In Britain today, the police are bought and paid for. And there's nobody to roll that back but us. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer. We'll be back soon. Till then, you've got the knowledge. Now use it.
I thought we warned you about trespassing, yeah?
That's right. Didn't learn your lesson, huh?
Please, I was just taking a picture of the exterior for...
Oh, did you hear that, mate? He was taking a picture.
A bloody picture!
Now listen here, you knob. This is going to be our final warning to you. If we ever see you coming around here again, the police are going to have to put out a missing persons report. And I think you know how effective they are these days, yeah?
I understand.
Okay, you've agreed to speak on the record. You are an intelligence technician at Albion and work closely with Nigel Cass, correct, Mr...?
Just you. I can't believe I'm doing this. If they were to find out...
I know. Only have to step outside to see how Albion treats people. What do you have for us?
Proof that Nigel Cass was complicit in the bombings.
What? But that's... Here, transfer it to this secure storage drive. How solid is this information?
It's a recording of him talking to some...
Security, drop your weapons!
Weapons? You can't do this!
Gather all our equipment and get it to the carousel. You, take that wall, then get rid of this body. She can stay here. Gang vengeance is an horrible crime, ain't it?
Oh, Jesus, he's pretty burnt up.
Happens when your truck explodes.
Fuck, I used to see him around R&D. Did you know him?
Hell no. But even if I did, I wouldn't fucking talk about it. Know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Preparations are back on schedule. I believe the stage is ready to go up. We anticipate no more delays. No, sir. These weren't your run-of-mill squatters. Those were cleared out last night. They seemed more organised. Protesters, possibly. We took them all in. Anyone not able to absolutely prove their identification was taken to the grounds. The rest will be spending some time locked up. Long enough to have a go with them. Teach them a lesson. Yes, sir. Full perimeter. Anyone trying to get through would need a tank. Or 5. At least. Confirmed, sir. Out. Sir, all serious injuries have been evacuated to nearby hospitals as ordered.
I want a full incident report ASAP. This was preventable, Harris. Human error, and it cost human lives. Innocent lives it was our duty to protect.
Yes, sir. The vehicle and floor.
Handle it. Gather the media. I have something that needs to be said. We failed. This should never have happened, and I plan on making sure it never happens again. Command Authorization Code Delta November Charlie 001, Director Nigel Cass. Zone Supervisor Harris, the proposed measures will not be enough. Implement a full security perimeter. Sharpshooters on the surrounding rooftops, in sight. Anyone planning to crash this event will think twice. No one enters the venue without being searched. Thoroughly. Let the protesters protest their rights. We have their safety to think about. Nothing left to chance, Harris, understand? Be ready to act. The price of failure is too high. Over.
I can't run the job sites without jobbers, right? construction drones are fine and all, but I still need hands on the controls, don't I?
So get more people. And fast.
You know how hard it is to vet some of these wazzocks through your security hoops? Bloody impossible. And anyone finally gets on the job, sees all the Albion shits around, they brick it. Not comforting, mate.
Why? Do they have something to hide? Listen, we're a high-tech company, security is a necessity, and Albion has a vested interest in what we're doing. Bloody hell. Their contract is financing this build.
Well, I hope they're financing loads, because we'll be at this for yonks at this rate.
Don't worry about that. The board has taken your concerns into consideration. They simply expect to see some progress, if only to tide the investors over, or at least, a report of progress being made. Understand?
Oh, right. I'll just apply the old Tipex to my latest report and Bob's your uncle.
Wonderful. We'll expect it to be ready for the next meeting. If I'm not mistaken, the docket includes discussing a raise in salary for the job foreperson. A positive report would certainly positively influence the board members.
I do believe another story's gone up and done, mate. Director Cass, I've been unable to reach the Commissioner's office.
He's stalling. Doesn't matter. It won't change anything. I won't allow it to change anything. Damn him. Yet another fool who knows what the right thing to do is, but lets emotions get in the way.
He's still scheduled to attend. Would you like him removed?
No. Despite all, we need to work with the official government. Send a security detail to make sure he attends. Dress it like a state privilege and sit him front and center at the meeting. He'll be key to my getting the others to fall into line.
Oh my God, please, please. Shh, this can't be happening. Oh my God.
Will you shut the fuck up?
Shh, did you hear that? They stopped firing.
You're right, I don't hear anything.
Wait, I think...
Oh fuck, they're coming.
No!
No more excuses. This is my city, and I will not have DedSec ruin my plans for it. Themis was poised to change London, the world. And this group of... And Hamish fucking Balaji? I want them all. They made you all look like fools. They walked calmly into the White Tower, and no one, not one of you, stopped them with all our vaunted security measures. So do any of you have anything to say? Nothing. Well, everyone, and I mean everyone in the organization, will be revetted immediately. Someone help them, that's certain, and we will root them out. This time, we will get them all.
He's looking to automate our jobs, mate. This is no joke.
Director Cass? You're serious? Who told you that?
Friend over in R&D. The shit he's told me about background checks and knowing who's going to be useful to Albion, who's going to be a problem.
You that worried about your job? This is a PMC. They already do background checks on all of us.
Oh, you don't get it. He was talking about the general population, not just us employees. How bad is it that everyone has to be watched that closely?
Well, look around. It's fucking bad. And Cass is going to do what he has to keep it from getting worse. Suggest you do the same.
Are you lost or tempest-tossed? Welcome to Clare Waters. What do you see when you look up in the sky? Clouds? Stars? I see drones. More and more every day. We're told it's for our safety, to keep crime in check. But what has it really done other than make people more paranoid? When we trade freedom for safety, we build our own cages. Thirsty for the truth? Wet your whistle with Claire Waters. So are Albion the new cops? I would argue no. They're not the law. They put themselves above it. And why not? Who's going to stop them? The Met? Please. There are no more cops, just glorified security guards and tricked-out troopers with little in between.
Our job is not an easy one, but it is an important one. Right now, we devote countless hours to intelligence gathering, and still things slip through the cracks. We're doing our best, you tell me. We are, but our best isn't good enough. That doesn't sound right. But even we aren't perfect yet. Yeah, they'll like that. That strikes a humble note. We make errors in judgment. That's human nature, but we cannot afford errors. We are the last resort to protect the people. Project Themis will dispense justice and protection. It will use data to predict the patterns of crime and abuse. It will let us transcend the faults in our own nature. Not bad. Yeah, they'll have questions, of course, which is fair. It's an extreme measure, and there is potential for abuse, but this is what London needs.
He's launched them, Mum. They're waiting up there, and no one knows. People think he'll keep them safe, but that's not what he wants. He wants control. He sent them up there to watch us. And worse, he called them Justice Themis drones. What a cruel joke. The project was dead. But he has the team re-engineering an upgrade that'll activate a systemic reboot, and you always hated it when I used my big up words. I can't let it happen. And without him, it doesn't. Mom, I'm about to do something. Something awful. Or at least people will say it's awful. If they know what I know, maybe they'd think better of me. Less of a monster. But I'm trying to stop a monster, Mom. I am. If you had the chance to stop something terrible from happening by killing someone, wouldn't you do it? Something truly horrible. I'm sorry. I love you.
Take this down. The Tone bombing presents us with an excellent opportunity. Once we've taken full possession of the site, it gives us a good vantage point on the Thames and provides us with a cover of activity to mask some of our own higher risk activities.
Hey, Princess. Just wanted to hear your voice.
Oh, this is new. Do they train you to be romantic?
In a sense. Look, I might be wrong, but I feel a little paranoid over here.
I thought the Nexus office was a great promotion.
It is. But, look, let me go somewhere quieter.
Sure.
So, this is better. Yeah, look, some of the lads disappear. They might be off someplace better, but I know what we usually do.
Yeah, I think you're paranoid. Look, you got promoted there. Stop worrying.
Well, you might be right. But maybe this isn't a real promotion, but just a way to exercise even closer control on us. You know, management doesn't want people to affirm themselves too much. A colleague told me he was about to be arrested and he didn't know what he was accused of. They just told him to report to security. This as soon as his trial period expired. I got 2 days left.
Yeah, it got to you. You are paranoid. Relax and get back to keeping London safe. You'll see, things will turn out just fine.
Bye, Princess.
Love you. Relax.
Have you looked at the Themis brief, ma'am?
Yes, I looked at it before I assigned you to the project. I am quite familiar with what it entails.
You must see the ethical implications of this. Themis violates half a dozen laws at least.
Those laws don't apply anymore. Or haven't you been paying attention? We're functioning under martial law here.
No. Themis is more than just martial law. It's a guillotine waiting to come down on everyone.
Look, you have two options. You can do your job, or you can lose your job. Pick one.
Oi, what the fuck's the matter with you?
I fucking had it. I'm tired of this shitty fucking job. I stand around here all day in this ridiculous suit and... What's the temperature out here? Do you even know? Feels like I'm literally on fire. You could fry your fucking eggs on me, mate. For what? Nothing ever happens here.
What do you mean nothing ever happens?
I mean, literally nothing ever happens. Worst I got is some pigeons shitting on my head and battling a fucking fever all day long, yeah? My nan gets more action at a care home.
Have you completely lost your mind?
I don't know. Probably. Since I feel like I'm fucking 2,000 degrees all the time. I didn't join Albion for this. I belong out there on the sea.
What?
That's it. I'm gonna do it. I'm jumping in. Finally take off this bloody outfit. I cannot wait for Friday, mate. Simmons. Do you know him? Anyway, no matter. He's the one who organised our team-building activity. He's rounded up a few of the prisoners they brought in a little while ago. The ones who didn't have any relatives. He figures it'll make for an easier time when we declare them missing. Right, so the fun part. He's going to release them into an open field while we get our shots in. I'll bet you a pint I can get rid of 10 before you. You're on, you slimy bastard. Listen here, I'm going to tell you something, and it's between you and me, completely off the record, yeah? The whole thing's quite disturbing to me. They've got good reason to close off parts of the building, but at the end of the day, it's a load of bollocks. This place is a treasured part of London's history, of its culture. Great, powerful men have ruled over this fortress. The citizens of London have an obligation to it. You can't keep people out. They must visit it, breathe in its very essence, so that they too can become great. But again, this is all between you and me, mate. Carry on now.
No, please.
Please, don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Where are you taking him? Stop, Jonah!
Back off, you fucking cow.
No, don't!
We saw you with those machines. Didn't crank shit and you hit jackpot each time. Think we're daft? You're fucking dead sick, aren't you?
Dead sick? No, I swear, it was just a small hack.
Small hack? Who the hell did you take me for?
Please!
You know what we do to DegSec members? We make an example out of them.
Jonah! No! No! No, Jonah!
Go tell your little DegSec friends, sweetheart. Tell them to stay the fuck away.